Here we are in the Wrangell, Alaska Shipyard, cleaning up after being here for several months, repairing the bottom of the Alaskan Gypsy, our 80-foot overall triple-masted Thomas Colvin schooner. Take a look at this mess, this video. We are preparing to leave the shipyard.
Looks like a hurricane came through here.
We're getting out of here before one does, hopefully. I'm just grateful the tent survived until now. I'm glad I get to take it down instead of the wind taking it down in the middle of the night in a rainstorm.
Audrey with the Alaskan Gypsy. Scott here. We're not on a boat. Where are we headed?
Audrey here. Scott here. We're going in our little car to pick up a prop shaft and a prop and a coupling and shaft log tube. We're going to see if it all fits in or on here somehow.
We've got a lot of space to work with. Not too much. A little sunroof. Maybe they'll go up there. How are you feeling about this pickup? Right on time?
Yeah. Not exactly sitting around waiting for it, but it's a good time. There could be some issues with the alignment. Might need to modify the brackets that the engine is mounted with. And the sooner I know about that, the better, because it could end up being a bit of an ordeal. And the snow is coming down the mountains.
Sure is. Winter's coming. Headed.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is a pretty big deal. It took a few weeks before we got confirmation that the shaft and the prop could be ordered and shipped. And honestly, we'd heard some horror stories from people in Wrangell about parts not getting here, either on the barge or the airplane. Do you send it passenger? Do you send it cargo? Well, thankfully, the guys at Kruger and Sons, which is where we got these ship parts from down in Washington, they were on it and they knew what to do, and they made the best decisions. And thankfully, Alaska Air provided and everything showed up, and we get to go get after it and get to work and see if we can get this ship in the water. Everybody in Wrangell who sees me, I've been spending a lot of time in Wrangell with the community. I've been sharing Reiki energy healing and just getting to know a lot of different people, and everybody unanimously is like, why are you leaving? When are you going? When are you coming back? Don't go. How do we keep you here? It's been such a sweet time here, and I know the same for Scott. People would love it if we'd stick around a little longer, and the truth is, I can't wait to come back. Once we launch, I really truly believe that this cute little town is going to be the heart of our Southeast home for community connection, resources, friends. For me, being able to practice Reiki here so seamlessly with connections and opportunities, it's just been a really magical, beautiful experience. And of course, the shipyard has supported so much. So we're just driving down little downtown right now, headed back to the shipyard with that shaft on top of this little car that our friends are loaning us here. And I just couldn't believe that the sky was still blue and the sun was shining. It just felt like such a special moment. So anyhow, Wrangell, Alaska. There's my chiropractic's office. I actually have got quite a bit of relief there. There's City Hall. I love how there's the IGA. They're open till 7. The latest grocery store, if you need to get something in town, is open till 7. There's a vending machine right across from us in the shipyard, and that gets a lot of evening traffic. That's the Heritage Center right there. It's a beautiful, beautiful building that allows for vendors and events, and there's a beautiful gift shop in there and museum, and it's just a cultural heritage center that's really, truly lovely. And here we are entering into the shipyard. Big, beautiful boats. Most of them needing some work for the winter. A few of them are just spending their time here. Look at those massive covers. Oh my goodness. That one is hilarious. It's just on those big wheels, just pushing around. Pretty impressive. And the Alaskan Gypsy. There she is. Out of place, out of the water. She's gotten some serious work done this year. The last couple of months, Scott has worked tirelessly to repair her and restore her to a seaworthy state, and we are so excited to get to splash her soon.
Siéntelo. 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 Águila del monte será. Se le oyen las voces como el pavo real. Se le oyen las voces como el pavo real. Se le oyen las voces como el pavo real. Águila del monte. Águila del monte. Águila del monte. Como el pavo real. Águila del monte. Águila del monte será. Se le oyen las voces como el pavo real. Se le oyen las voces como el pavo real. Se le oyen las voces como el pavo real. Siéntelo. 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 Siéntelo.
This is the should be the coupling to join the shaft to the transmission. That's it. There's a bolt for it too. Ooh. Yeah, I think if I could have called and scheduled it, I potentially Monday, but yeah.
Well, that's cool. Holy cow. Wow. That's really cool.
Amen. What are you up to?
Yeah.
Here in the final days of prepping to get out of the shipyard, I finally got to put that new shaft in, and Kruger and Sons was kind enough to go over to Seattle Marine Supply and get me what's called, I think, a shaft log or a stern tube, or not a stern tube, it goes on the stern tube, but it's a big piece of rubber that connects from the stern tube, which is steel that the shaft comes through. It makes a connection from that to the brass packing gland, and so it's actually, salt water is flowing through this big rubber thing, and it creates a seal to the packing gland. Here is the coupling that's going to connect the prop shaft to the transmission or marine gear, as I've been corrected by some YouTubers, and I'm just kind of checking out how that's going to fit on there. The shaft was 2.5 inches. Doesn't really work to have a 2.5 inch coupling on that transmission, marine gear, sorry. So they had to turn down the shaft a little bit to make it fit with the bolts. This is the bolt that goes, one of the bolts that goes through the coupling to clamp it down on the shaft. There's also a bolt, this one doesn't really go through, it goes around it, kind of pinches the coupling. There's one that goes all the way through the shaft as well. Just finger tightening those on here to start with. It's dinner time on the Alaskan Gypsy.
Yay.
It's Saturday. There's snow on the hills near town, and just slid the new prop shaft in. The new prop is sitting next to the boat, and there's a new coupling on the shaft, and there's new motor mounts under the engine, Cummins 5.9 engine, 6 BTA, and the new motor mounts are a little taller than the old ones, but fortunately there's about 3/16 of adjustment still, so I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get the engine and transmission low enough, but it's worked out fortunately, because that was a little bit of a concern that was going to turn into a huge project, but it's not. So I would say today was a huge success in that the new shaft's in, the new cutlass bearing is in, the new shaft coupling is on, everything's lining up just perfectly, easily, no friction, no fret. Everything is like it's just meant to go together, even though it's new parts. And so feeling very fortunate and blessed that none of these things, any one of them could have easily turned into a whole day project, and none of them did. Just went super effortlessly and perfect. We must be in the flow.
Yay, that's so exciting. So do you think launching by Thanksgiving is obviously
Thanksgiving,
happening?
we'll be back in town,
with deer.
dropping off deer to the locals that have been so kind and generous with us, loaning us things. We're hoping to go get some deer to give them just kind of thank you. And we should be able to do that by Thanksgiving at this rate. I think if I would have remembered it was Friday and called the harbor master office and said I want to be on the schedule for launching on Monday, probably could have got launched Monday morning, but I thought it was Thursday. And then it was after 5 p.m. and I realized it was Friday. And so they're closed on the weekend. So they may still launch us Monday if I'm ready. Or they might not. Just depends what mood they're in and what else they have going on and how the weather is. But we'll still have a busy day tomorrow. I still got plenty of work to do. But a lot of the work that's left I can do in the water too. So
Videoing Scott putting the rudder on. I mean, the prop.
I thought I was just test fitting the prop on here, but actually never ended up taking it off again. But that's just the way the final days of shipyard go. Everything's kind of hectic and rushed towards that splash moment. Don't watch this part. I was apparently putting the prop nuts on backwards. My last few days in the shipyard were both encouraging and exciting, but also sort of demoralizing.
Here we go.
Is just struggling through the last steps and making mistakes and just doing things boat owner hack late at night, get it done style. But oh well, we're out on the water now, and I'm looking back at this footage, doing this voiceover, and I'm not quite ready to see all the struggles again. But so I'm trying to get this new rudder post and the rudder together, and it was actually really quite tricky because there's not very much room, and trying to get the rudder between the rudder post and the shoe that it sits in and getting those long bolts in turned out to be quite a challenge, and involved trying various ways of chain hoisting, prying, putting some bolts in, trying to get other bolts in. In the end, it was some sort of a late night fix. I had to lower the rudder down to get the bolts to slide in because it had to be kind of off at an angle. Anyhow, it's hard to explain, and it was fairly hard to figure out, but in the end, it actually did come together. I was able to get all the 6 bolts through the top of the rudder and eventually get this shoe underneath connected with the bottom of the keel of the boat. That's the old rudder shoe. I cut it down a little bit and painted it with the epoxy barrier. It's got a little cutlass bearing in it for the rudder to spin in, but it was a bit of a conundrum. There's the prying techniques. I tried pulling on it with ropes, ratchet straps. I think I ended up using a little jack. Audrey helped with prying with a big 2x4. A little bit of a struggle fest. Late night shipyard struggle fest.
Got the rudder mounted on its shoe. Got a propeller on there. And look, got the autopilot working. Apparently it really wants to turn that way. I'm not sure why it's turning. The boat's tipped a little bit. I was thinking about that. I'm not sure if the boat is flat or not, but there's a new prop on there. It's slightly smaller in diameter, but slightly more pitch, so it's kind of interesting. In effect, it should have a little less power than the old prop, which will be a good starting point as we learn about this boat engine and how it pushes. So.
And back in the bilge, I got the shaft pushed in far enough now where I can start connecting the coupling to the marine gear.
It's Monday morning, launch day, 17th of November, but here's my list. Gear oil for the transmission, through holes in the head, splash zone on the rudder bolts, bottom paint on the rudder shoe. I have to figure out our domestic water pump. I need 2 packing glands, the packing stuff, rudder post, prop shaft. I need to cut and fit plywood for the head, floor, and walls. I need to fix the valve on the port anchor winch. Need to replace the transducer, 1 or 2 of them. Need to remove the old pressure tank for the domestic water and find a new one. I need to rebuild the generator exhaust. I need propylene glycol, which I can't find in Wrangell, for the heat system. I need to service the hose connections on the heat system throughout the boat. I need to install new air traps on the heat system. I need to adjust the motor mounts on the main. I need to pay the bill for my shaft prop, cutlass bearing, whatever I need to pay Dave's welding and repair, and I need to settle up with Superior Marine. That's what I wrote down last night, and then I ran out of room and gave up.
Supposedly we could launch today. I don't know about that. The water's frozen. Can't do the dishes.
Yeah, I got not very many, but I can cross that one off and that one off. It's already the middle of the day. It's after lunch, and that's all I get to cross off. What the heck is going on here?
You had a lot of people come visit.
No, I didn't spend very much time with that.
Just wondering in real time if we'll be staying on the hard to finish the projects or potentially going into transient at the harbor. This is after today was anticipated launch day, Monday, November 17th. Here's the real after dinner update.
Live from the dinner table. Well, I didn't get very far on my list today. I was busy all day, quite productive, got a lot of things done, but just almost none of them are on the list. So I did schedule with the harbor master to go in the water on Wednesday. Today's Monday. It's about 9 p.m. Just finished dinner. Mostly done in the engine room. Props on, shafts mounted, engine is aligned, got thru-hull valves, almost all the major mission critical things are done on the boat, but the area around the boat is still a disaster. I haven't really gone out there and picked up at all. I need to put some bottom paint on, some splash zone on some big bolts. There's a lot of things still to do. A few of them are critical. A lot of them could be postponed till we're in the water. Just kind of weighing the pros and cons of getting launched. It's supposed to get really cold into early next week. It's Monday now. So we have about 5 more days of warm rainy. But I don't want to be on land when it's cold again because the boat got really cold. We were able to keep it warm, but it's just a lot of condensation and cold. So I definitely want to be in the water by the weekend. But I am debating maybe staying in the yard for another day or two, but not really sure how much advantage there is to it because there's some things I'd love to run the main engine. I'd love to run the generator and check them out and just kind of check out our power situation and the engines and change the oil on the main, get it warm first. And there's a lot of stuff I'd like to do in the water. And I'm almost done with other things I want to do out of the water for sure, but it's very convenient being here. A car's parked under the boat. We're in the shipyard. It's a short walk to the hardware stores. This is a great spot to do work, but I'm not going to get all the work done. There's no way. I'm not even thinking about that. So it's just a matter of which projects to do, which projects to postpone, which ones are going to be easiest to do now, which ones are going to be about the same in the water. The temperature is a big thing, like painting in the water tanks. It's going to be easier to do when the boat's in the water in some regards. I won't have shore power, which is nice for heat, but I will have a lot warmer steel temperatures. The water is 47 degrees. The air is not getting that warm again probably until spring, really, for any amount of time. So a lot of trade-offs. So that's where it's at tonight. See how tomorrow goes. Got all day tomorrow. All day tomorrow. So I should be able to get a lot of things done then. But that list is garbage. There's a lot of stuff on there that I don't know. I just brain dump stuff on there, and I have to get oil for the transmission. Otherwise, we're not even going to be able to move away from the travel lift. There's some. I better star some mission critical ones. There's a few of those. So that one was done. Those two. Bottom paint. Yeah, those top ones are pretty much. I got the through holes. I bought the through holes today. I was hoping to get a little more paint inside the steel, welded in parts today. Access from the inside before I thread on the through holes. But if I don't get it, oh well. Just thread them on and done. Close the valve. I don't have the plumbing to hook up to them yet, but that's okay. We got a bucket.
Got a bucket.
So the boat could be ready to go in the water easily by noon tomorrow. But this is the yard cleanup and all that stuff. It'd be nice to have hours to do that. Do a nice job. Not have to come back and spend a bunch of time in the yard without our boat nearby.
Yeah, that sounds pretty terrible.
There you go.
This is
That's
very
update.
exciting. Thanks for the update. Thanks for the update. Okay.
$10:35 a.m. I was thinking, is it July? No, it's November.
It's PM.
Did I say a.m.?
Yeah.
10:35 p.m. Just finished dinner. Moose meat tacos. And time for the night shift to start. Paintbrushes. Grinders. And the headlamp getting a charge back on it. Grinding, sanding, painting, picking up, organizing stuff on the outside of the boat. We're hoping to launch, well, we're going to launch tomorrow at 1 p.m. They're going to come and pick us up, and we're going to be ready enough. So there's still a few holes in the boat, but a lot of them have been plugged or filled, and I got paint drying in a few that I'll then plug. So this camera is very dirty. The lens is very dirty.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going back outside to keep going, grinding on the ladder.
Sorry about the dirty lens, but it's a real shipyard update.
That was the last one right there.
Thru-hull? What?
Oh, the tab.
On the tab. Tell me what those were.
There were tabs that I welded on the side of the hull to attach the tent frame structure to.
Looking good.
Put the new hub zinc on today. Yeah. Don't tell the machinist, but I welded a bolt onto the end of the shaft so I could secure the hub zinc on there. And I also mounted the spurs, line cutter, mounted on the other side. Those were some of the things today.
Just woke up. It's the final
Countdown.
morning.
It's the last rainy morning in the shipyard.
Oh my god.
And what is it? It's almost 8 a.m. They're going to come pick us up at 1. So I think I can be ready. But still have holes in the boat to fill. But not bad, ready for it. And gotta go get another part off that wrecked sailboat next door, actually. There's some plastic on there that I think I can use to put up here to look nice and keep all this condensation from dripping down. So the floor's always wet under those things.
That's resourceful. It's the final countdown.